Top of the morning to you. It's the 10th of June, it's Tuesday, and this morning I want to give a well-deserved shout out to this lady here. This is Doreen McBRIDE, Banbridge authoress, if there is such a word, and she's a prolific writer, so I'm going to tell you a wee bit about her first. And this is what the history press have up about her. A retired biology teacher with an interest in the environment, folklore, local history and storytelling. She spent a year seconded to the Ulster Folk and Transport Museum to develop materials for schools using the grounds from a scientific point of view. The museum published those materials and asked her to write a guide for children, which was published by Longmans in 1988. She had a career change in 1991 and became an international award-winning professional storyteller. That's something else. She served for 12 years on the Southern Education and Library Board and was president of the Association of Northern Ireland Education and Library Boards 2004 and 5. She's a prolific author of local history books, including 7 for the history press, and contributes to local periodicals. She's had 3 plays broadcast on Radio Ulster. She lives in Banbridge, County Down, and I believe she was a biology teacher in Dromore High School, where my old chum John Wilkerson was a former head teacher. So she probably worked with him. So I have never met Doreen McBRIDE, but I have read through quite a number of her books, and I'm commending her to you this morning. And if you want to know wee quirky hidden gem details about Ulster, Northern Ireland, whatever you want to call it, look no further than Doreen McBRIDE. This is her latest work, The A to Z of Curious Northern Ireland, Strange Stories of Mysteries, Crimes and Eccentrics. I love eccentrics. And this is recently published. Yeah, there it is. March 2025, and there's the ISBN number, and it's priced at £15, and I noticed it over in Forestside the other day whenever we were having a wee look around, a wee nosy. Northern Ireland this is about the book. Northern Ireland is a fascinating, stunningly beautiful province with a recorded history dating back to the ancient Celts. It may be the smallest country in the UK, but it has 3 Nobel Prizes for English literature connected to it, as well as many world-class musicians, artists, scientists, and of course sportsmen as well, and don't leave them out. It is a land where the crack is mighty, you know, good conversation. Pithy conversation, where every tree, every flower, every rock tells a story. The A to Z of Curious Northern Ireland explores the quirks and peculiarities of the country's talented people and the interesting places they call home. Recorded in a reliable, readable, often humorous style, it is a handy reference guide that can be dipped into and enjoyed over and over again. And there's the kind of book I love to have on the bookshelf, because doing YouTube videos, I like to find eccentric people to talk to. I like to find curious people and places and stories and all the rest of it. And that's what an awful lot of my YouTube videos are all about. But it doesn't stop there. Doreen McBRIDE is a prolific writer. She's a whole stack of other books on the go, and I'm going to show you some of these now. Here's the lady herself, and where better to find her catalogue of publications but Amazon. So here's what she's done over the years. We've got Fermanagh folk tales. Here we go. Fermanagh's culture, heritage, characters and stories set it apart from the rest of the world. Every mountain, tree, lake, stream, rock, stone and character tells a tale. If you love stories and tales from this neck of the woods, this book is for you, particularly if you come from Fermanagh. There are strange stories of mythical creatures such as the shining folk that lurk under the surface of Loch Earn and the fairies that taught the unruly Meg Barnalig a lesson. There are spooky tales of the Conan poltergeist and that haunted the Murphy family and the ghost of the Bleak pottery. And there are the pants or tall tales that the locals love to retell, such as the stories about educated Irish pigs who understood 3 languages, talking horses, or a pike who went fishing for squirrels. All these stories and more are featured in this unique collection, which will take you deep into the heart of this historic county. And she's done Fermanagh, now she turns her attention to Tyrone. The people of Tyrone have a reputation for having open hearts and a desire to please, and their folk tales are as varied as their language. There are tales of amazing feats of the giant Finn McCool and the daring do of the Red Hand of Ulster, as well as the dramatic story of Half-Hung McNaughton and the hilarious tale of Dixon from Dungannon and his meeting with royalty. All these stories and more are featured in this collection of tales, which will take you on an oral tour across the county from the Spurren Mountains in the west to the flat peatlands of the east. And here's County Down, the little book of County Down by DOREEN McBRIDE. And as I say, if you want to find the ISBN number and when this was published and what price it is and all the rest of it, go to Amazon. You can buy these books over the counter at the Bridge bookshop in Dromore. Right, little book of County Down. What do I find in here? The world's worst novelist, Amanda McKittrick Ross, was born near Balnahinch. The entire Kilkeel fishing fleet was sunk by a German U-boat in 30th of May 1918 without the loss of a single life. Sir Hans Sloane, whose collection formed the foundation of the British Museum, was born in Kildalay. The Little Book of County Down is a compendium of fascinating, obscure, strange and entertaining facts about this ancient county of Northern Ireland. Here you will find out about County Down's history, its literary heritage, its churches, its castles, its festivals, its fairs, and the famous and occasionally infamous men and women. A reliable and quirky guide with a little reference book can be dipped into time and time again. Fascinating county and all the rest of it. So there's 3 counties covered. And here's another book for you. Not only does she cover counties in Northern Ireland, but here's one about Louth folk tales. Published in 2015, catch a glimpse of the spirit of Ireland and in the entertaining company of professional storyteller DOREEN McBRIDE as she recounts the local tales, ancient and modern, of County Louth. You will hear of the doomed love of Lasara and her harpist who haunt the waters of Carlingford Loch, of the origin of the River Boyne and of the jumping church at Killymock. I need to read this. You will also discover St Bridget's association with the Falcon and how the Hound of Ulster recovered from war wounds on the dead mound of Doolargy, and where you might find leprechaun gold. And on the way you will encounter a killer cat, a fairy horse and a salmon of knowledge, as well as some talkative toes. From age-old legends and fanatical myths to amusing anecdotes and cautionary tales, this collection of heady is a heady mix of bloodthirsty, funny, passionate and moving stories that will take you into a remarkable world where you can let your imagination run wild. There we go. And it gives you all, paperback version $12.99 and Kindle version $4.99. So it's Kindle's good. And yet another one another book on Fermanagh. Van Morrison wrote Brown Eyed Girl on a piano in Derrygonley. Didn't know that. Paddy Monaghan from Ederney befriended Muhammad Ali and became known as Paddy Ali. St. Moos brought soil containing blood from early Christian martyrs from the Colosseum in Rome and placed it on Devonian Island. Natives of Fermanagh had boats called cots which were shaped like spoons without handles. They were the only boats in the world to be preserved during winter by being scuttled. Not quite sure what that's getting at. Little Book of Fermanagh is a compendium of fascinating, obscure, strange and entertaining facts. And here you will find out about the county's industrial past, its proud sporting heritage, its arts and its culture, and its famous and infamous men and women, quaint villages, bustling towns. The book takes the reader on a journey through Fermanagh and its vibrant past. And being born and brought up in Banbridge for my first 17 or 18 years, I'm especially interested in this one. DOREEN McBRIDE, Banbridge, the star of the County Down. Banbridge gets its name from the bridge built across the Ban in 1712. It is a thriving modern town, rife with history and culture, surrounded by beautiful scenery that provided an iconic location for the internationally acclaimed television series Game of Thrones. It's the setting of the well-known folk song The Star of the County Down, contains Europe's first flyover. That's the cut there, you can just see it. I've done a video on that, of course. Used to walk up that main street virtually every day in life, knew everybody, but I've gone back over the years and know nobody walking up and down the street. All my contemporaries are actually, most of them are long gone. Anyway, it's got an ancient church founded by St. Patrick himself. Travel from Ballivey along the lower Ban, discover the ancient Celtic sites. Used to go up to Ballivey all the time, and remains of old linen mills and a Second World War aeroplane factory. Didn't know about that. I only come from the town. Look too for the famous names attached to Banbridge, including Ernest Walton, the first person to see an artificially split atom, F.E. McWilliam, the renowned sculptor, Captain Francis Crozier, the explorer who discovered the North West Passage. So all about Banbridge, my hometown. And here's yet another one. DOREEN McBRIDE, North of Ireland, Folk Tales for Children. I used to love folk tales, I still do. How did a spider change the course of history? How would a body in the chimney, what would a body in the chimney want with a lonely old woman? And what terrible deed could make a Celtic warrior cry? North of Ireland, Folk Tales for Children is full of mermaids and finagogues, haunted dolmens and plenty of ghosts, rude Celts and bloodthirsty warriors. This collection of weird and wonderful, irreverently told tales from award-winning storyteller DOREEN McBRIDE is not for the faint-hearted and certainly not appropriate for adults. That was published in 2019. And here's one for you if you're interested in language. Ulster Scots, mixed with a wee bit of Gaelic. Speaking Northern Iron as she should be spoke. A guide to the language spoken in the north of Ireland. You're getting sticking out about you dead on. and there's no wee write-up about that one, but that's one of our best sellers, and it dates from 1993. How many is that? We've covered 3 and 3 or 6, 8. Anything else I've missed out? There's an Irish animals tales, folk tales. Irish animal folk tales for children. How did a tiny wren manage to be crowned king of the birds? Why did you giant no, I'm running out of chuff here, or puff. Why did giant Finn McCool's favourite dogs change into mountains? What happened to turn a friendly cat into a cruel fiend who plotted to destroy mankind? Irish Animal Tales for Children is packed with ghostly goings-on, weird characters and wonderful animals irreverently told by award-winning storyteller DOREEN McBRIDE. These stories are not for the faint of heart. Very good. Is there any more? And there she is. There she is. Cherry Valley Chronicles, Cherry Valley. And this is written by Billy Simpson, along with Doreen McBride. Talking Proper, a guide to being upwardly mobile in Northern Ireland. Published in 1994. And whenever people in Cherry Valley talk about a creche, they're actually talking about, they're not talking about you know, a place to have children, a creche. They're talking about an accident on the Malone Road. And if you haven't seen enough, here's another one. We Are Our Past by Doreen McBride, a link with Ireland's past. Description of, this was published in 1990, a description of social life in Ireland in 19th and 20th centuries. Contents include home is where the hearth is, the home, the hearth and all, the great hunger, emigration, pigs, hens, horses, fairs and faking, banshees, leprechauns, fairies and giants, cures and customs. I'm not sure whether you can still get that, but possibly can. Another one. This is Ulster Scots as she tumbles. A Beginner's Guide to Learning Ulster Scots by Doreen McBride. Published in 2000. Boy, she's some prolific writer. What's this? The Duffer's Guide to Matrimony. Why couldn't you just tell me you dyed your hair green? So, and that's along with Billy Simpson, once again, who likes a story or two himself. And here's one I've just missed. Don't know how I missed this one. This is Posh Speak, a dictionary of local posh speak, along with Billy Simpson again. So, how many is that? There's 4. Oh, I didn't get this one. This is When Hunger Stalked the North. This would be an interesting read. When hunger stalked the North, effects of the Great Famine 1845 to 1847, Doreen McBride once again. So that's 4 and 4, 8, 12, 16, and there's 1 or 2 more tucked in there. About 18 books by this lady. She's some operator. I wonder if she ever got time to write all these. But you find time when it's something that you're passionate about and something that you love. So check out Doreen McBride, prolific Banbridge authoress. and you'll find all our books there listed on Amazon, and you can get them on Amazon, or you can tootle down to not to Banbridge but to Dromore, to the Bridge bookshop, and the lady there will point you in the right direction, I'm sure. Okie dokie.